Assalamu alaikum. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Our today's lecture is about urea molasses blocks or urea molasses mineral blocks. And in this lecture, I will be discussing with you the details of urea molasses blocks, why using urea molasses mineral blocks, their composition and making process, what are the characteristics of good urea molasses mineral blocks, and the precautions we should be adopting while feeding urea molasses mineral blocks. So let's start with why using urea molasses mineral blocks. So livestock production in developing countries is largely dependent on fibrous feeds, mainly crop residues and low quality pasture that are deficient in nitrogen, minerals and vitamins. So as protein supplements such as oil cakes, they are the only available sources for protein at a very high price in these countries, if available at all. So this has led to the use of non-protein nitrogen sources such as urea, so to compensate for the nitrogen deficiency in fibrous feeds, thus enhancing their digestibility, intake and nutrient availability through optimization of rumen fermentation. The use of solid feed supplementation blocks, that is urea molasses blocks or multi-nutrient blocks, to provide the nitrogen, minerals and vitamins lacking in fibrous feeds offers several advantages. For example, ease of transport, storage and use, and reduced risks compared with other approaches, such as giving a small amount of urea in drinking water, sprinkling of urea solution on fibrous feeds before feeding, or urea ammonization of crop residues. These advantages, together with enhanced productivity in terms of increased milk and meat production and higher reproductive efficiency in ruminant animal species that include cattle, buffalo, sheep, goats and yak, as a result of supplementation with the blocks, have resulted in their adoption in over more than 60 countries. So let's start with the composition of this urea molasses block. Let's discuss the composition and making process of urea molasses mineral blocks or UMBs. So in these blocks are composed of molasses, urea, rice, wheat or maize bran, salt, lime or cement, DCP, that is dicalcium phosphate, and minerals. So after combining all these ingredients, a block is formed, and for making a block we need a cast or die for making a block of this urea molasses block. So let's talk about these ingredients individually, starting from molasses. Molasses, basically it is used to give a sweet taste to block, and it provides energy and other minerals like sulfur. So we should not exceed 40 to 50% of this inclusion in the mineral block because it will break too easily and take too long time to dry. The next main component is urea. Its inclusion is limited up to 10%, because if we exceed from this limit, so it will cause poisoning in animals. So what is the function of urea? It improves digestibility and provides non-protein nitrogen source to the animals. Cereal bran. Cereal brans, they are the source of protein, and their function in the block usage is to hold the block together. Next is salt. We use different salts in order to supply minerals, which controls the rate of consumption. I have discussed with you cement. Cement makes the block hard, and 10 to 15% is sufficient. Higher levels make the block too hard. It provides calcium. So, in addition to cement, if we want to use clay, it can also be mixed with it to improve hardness and reduce drying time. So let's move towards the making of urea molasses blocks. The manufacturing of or making of urea molasses mineral blocks, it can be divided into 4 stages. So in first stage, we follow preparation of the components we want to use in the block, number 1. Secondly, we will do the mixing. The third step is molding, and fourth step is drying. So preparation of the components. So the amount of the different ingredients, it depends on the size of the block to be manufactured and the formula to be used. In mixing, we weigh the amount of ingredients based on the formula of the block. Then we add urea to the molasses while continuously mixing. Urea and molasses are stirred for about 20 minutes. So never add water to molasses. After adding urea in the molasses and properly stirring and mixing for about 20 minutes, we will add bran and mix it thoroughly. So, and then make the cement into a paste with water prior to adding to the rest of the ingredients. Then mix the salt with cement, which accelerates the hardening process. Then the third step is molding. After mixing, place the mixture into molds. Any local container such as tin cans or small buckets can be used as a mold. So using a plastic sheet to line the molds will make block removal from the mold easier. So there are different kind of molds which are available in the market, or you can also prepare by yourself according to the size and weight of the block you want to prepare for your farm or you want to sell to the farmers. So these molds can be wooden molds, they can be made up of PVC tube molds, and they can be metal sheet molds. After mixing and molding, the drying and storage step is very important. Then for this step, remove the blocks from the molds after 24 hours and place on racks to dry. So leave the blocks to dry for at least 5 days depending upon the weather condition. Now let's discuss the characteristics of good urea molasses mineral blocks. Number 1, ingredients are well distributed throughout the block. The first and important characteristics of a good UN block. Then, secondly, it doesn't have or it shouldn't have lumps of urea and lime. It means these ingredients should be mixed properly and thoroughly. Thirdly, it should be hard enough not to be squashed between our fingers. Fourth, it should be resistant enough not to break when a person steps on it. Fifth, our hands should feel the sticky molasses when we hold the block in our hands. Now, what should be the precautions while feeding urea molasses block or urea molasses mineral block? Never form the main diet to these blocks. This is the first precaution. Then feed this block only to ruminants. Do not feed this block to monogastrics like horses, donkeys or pigs. And don't feed this block to young ruminants which are less than 6 months of age. Never give to an animal this block with empty stomach. And also you should never supply this block in ground form or dissolved in water. Then supply sufficient amount of water after the use of UMBs, and supply block to an animal after feeding. So these were different aspects of urea molasses mineral blocks. Thank you very much.